All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's talk about the matchups this weekend. Now we got six more to add in. For those wondering why all eight teams aren't playing this weekend, to put very simply, Washington Spirit and Gotham FC are busy. They have some various competitions that they're involved in, specifically for CONCACAF. So they will make up their games at a later time. For now, let's talk the six games that are going this weekend. This will be going up in the morning, probably around 9 a.m. Saturday. So if you're interested in these games, you'll be able to see them here later in the afternoon. But let's talk about what we're seeing. By the way, just a quick update for those wondering about why this live coverage wasn't working. I hadn't really been looking down. I think what the big issue had been the end of this saga. For some reason, um, my I have a Wi-Fi extension that basically allows me to connect the internet through the wires of the wall, so that's an actual wired connection, and increase its power. I just realized that has not been active, so yeah, I've been operating on Wi-Fi, which might explain why the stream was a lot weaker this go around, and why it wasn't able to handle itself. So if that's the case, I'm going to need to figure out why that's not working out. Thankfully, in terms of scheduling, I don't have a guaranteed matchup here. The only one that I might be able to squeeze in, and I can't guarantee it yet, is the Kansas City Portland matchup at 10 a.m. Pacific. Still works within my schedule. You can see there it's the Sunday one, so that might be alive. So this one I may have to actually start using the community tab or the posts on YouTube. I will update if that is one that is feasible. For now, we have got on Saturday Louisville, North Carolina. This one should be a Carolina victory, but they're on the road. Louisville competes very well on their home field, and they are an extremely aggressive offense. So I'm actually going to pick an upset on this one. I'm going to say Louisville takes a 3-1 victory. Again, I'm starting to sell North Carolina Courage stock on this one. This team has shown some drastic unsustainability, other than having one of the leading goal scorers. The rest of the team is not performing at a consistent enough level to be taken seriously at the moment. So hopefully, if they are intending to regain themselves, this will be one. I've said that for weeks now, but as you can tell, I'm at the point where I'm no longer holding out for it. So I think they lose this one outright. Moving forward, we go to the Mountain Standard Time game, the first ever matchup between Utah Royals and Denver Summit. This is going to be a fun matchup. As you see, this one's taking place at 3:30 in the afternoon. This is part of the Ion doubleheader, their first matchup, and honestly, this could be a good litmus test for both, because while Utah is definitely in the upper half, the question still remains: how good is this team really? Have they been hot with a few weak favorable matchups, or are they a real push for the top? Because if they are, they'll win, and next week's matchup they have is going to be very interesting because they're in a top 3 game. Otherwise, this also could be a proving ground for Denver that they actually belong in the playoff picture as a serious contender. As it stands now, I'm going to say I'm going to buy into Utah a little more than Denver, just because I think Denver still has a few kinks to settle out. Specifically, what to do once you're ahead. They don't have it consistent yet, and they are still relying quite a bit on a couple of players, Janine Sonis in particular. I'm thinking racking up a lot of goals for them. Is there going to be a real supporting cast building around? And so I'm going to give Utah a 2-1 victory on it. And we'll see. This one's going to be. I'm looking forward to this matchup, and I will be following it closely. I just happen to be at another thing, but it will be very much going on my Sling app. So I'll be keeping track of this game quite closely, as well as my own matchup here. Angel City going to Houston, second matchup of the week. Both teams on a double game, a double match week for themselves. But in this case, I do feel like it's going to favor Angel City a little more. Putting aside the fact that I think Houston took a lot out of them to play against a top level team and pushed them to a draw. It seemed like Angel City had a better handle on them in the first matchup and understand what to do. They understand the assignment a lot better. So I am going to say this one also ends up being a one where Houston kind of lays an egg. I'm going to say it's going to be 2-0. I think Angel City has at least learned from what they've done previously. Houston's in a worse spot than they were. Angel City's in a healthier spot, even though they're not playing, I think, as well as when they beat Houston previously. It should be a fun matchup, though. As I said, we'll be watching both on my phone as much as I can, so I'm hoping to see some good stuff. As I said, Kansas City Portland might be alive. Seen both teams on the live stream on Wednesday. For all its cursed brilliance, Kansas City needs points on this one. They came away from a solid effort at Angel City, left BMO Stadium empty-handed. They need something here at home. Portland's going halfway across the country, and this is a much more difficult opponent than when they were playing Bay. I do think they both walk away with something. I'm going to give this a 2-2 draw. And yeah, Kansas City gains a single point, which I believe would cause them to lose spots in the standings, but at least they'd still be moving in a positive direction. Portland, I do believe this will be the moment that they fall back out of first. They've temporarily been elevated with their win over Bay. I think by the end of this week, though, that will have settled itself. And next week, when we get into our final pre-break matches, it'll be San Diego atop things. So because of that, I'm actually going to jump ahead to the closing matchup at 4 Pacific, San Diego hosting Orlando. I'm thinking San Diego wins this match pretty cleanly. I'm going to say 3-1, with possibly Barbara Banda getting the goal for Orlando to continue. I think at this point, she's a guarantee to run away with the top goal scorer honor this year. But Orlando, I don't think they're going to be able to make any adjustments until after this break. So we'll see what they do over the course of June. I'm going to be monitoring that closely because I do think they have an opportunity to be a playoff team, but they have to make some adjustments fairly quickly. As I said, they can't do anything this week and really can't do anything next week because they wouldn't have time to implement it. So look for June to be their chance to do some roster upgrades. For the time being, they're not ready. San Diego's going to get their 3. They should retake their spot atop the league. And then now going to the middle game on Sunday, going at 2 Pacific. We have Bay FC against Chicago. Battle of 2 lower tier teams. Bay now at home, though to be honest they weren't traveling very far anyway, going against a team who's going to be a lot more rested, Chicago, who didn't have to play. And this one actually is a good game, I think, with Chicago in particular, though they struggle in the midfield. They've proven more than capable of playing with the lower end teams and causing problems. So I'm actually going to give this a split. I'm going to say it's a 1-1 draw. Bay FC, I think, still struggles to really overwhelm anyone, and I think that's going to be the case here. Chicago finds the opportunity to score and takes it, and they'll come away with a point here. But yeah, that should be a pretty solid week. Honestly, 6 fun matchups, 6 ones that are actually worth considering, and this should be an excellent time, I'm hoping, for everybody. In any case, whether you're a fan of the teams or if you are a fan of a team that's on bye, then enjoy your CONCACAF matchups. If you're a fan of either of the teams playing Friday, that game will be coming up here soon, so have fun there. Enjoy all the soccer, and go Angels.